Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Salary Board for September 6th, 2023. Public comment, we don't have anybody signed up for public comment, so we'll move on to the minutes from the August 2nd meeting. Any questions or comments regarding the minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Salary Board actions. We'll start with Prothonotary. Ms. Christian?
Good morning. I'm here to discuss a proposed change on my manning table from the Assistant Civil Filing Coordinator, which is currently a 5B, up a half step to a 6 to be the Assistant Civil Administrator. The current hourly salary for this position is $29.31. It would be going up approximately $1 to $30.33 per hour, with an annual increase of $2,121.60. The added duties that justify, am I there?
You're good.
You can hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
The added duties that justify the proposed increase, the primarily function will be a financial one, which is end-of-day balancing and bank deposits. Additional duties will be PSI coordinator with our computer tech and e-filing, Bucks County Bar Liaison, Prothonotary Association Liaison, and importantly, review of the monthly PA legal bulletin that, puts forth changes that have to take effect in our office. We looked at our budget to try to make this a budget neutral change, and I have deliberately left open a level 4 position for 2 months. I'm going to leave it open an additional month, which will create about $8,400 in my budget that's not being used. So that should pay for this increase going forward several years, and we'll continue to look at the budget to make sure that we have this money within our own pool.
Okay. Any comments or questions for Ms. Christian? No? Okay, appreciate the explanation. Appreciate you, working within the budget and doing, helps us obviously for the commissioners keeping things under control. So appreciate that. If there are no questions or comments, is there a motion to approve items 1 and 2 for the Prothonotary?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, we have several items for the main jail. So Mr. Kratz is here.
Good morning. I have 3 different types of actions for the board's consideration today. I'll go in order, and if you want to vote on them separate, just let me know. The first are 2 additional positions for our drug and alcohol program specialists. Brief explanation on that. We've seen a huge increase in the amount of work in drug and alcohol. Obviously, everybody knows we're in the middle of an opioid epidemic. A lot of these folks are coming to jail and going through the court system. Couple of quick statistics. We're running around 111 court-ordered evaluations a month right now. In 2000, that was 15. In 2015, that was 8. So we went from about 8 up to 111 on average. And I anticipate that's going to continue. The amount of folks coming into the jail on bench warrants and things like that are often getting ordered to have an assessment. So we're going to need some more staff to do that. We haven't increased staffing in 21 years. That was the last time we added a position. So it's time. One other little piece of that puzzle is referrals out. A lot of these evaluations result in referrals to places in the community, inpatient, outpatient, recovery houses. It used to be a pretty simple process. You picked up the phone, you said, hey, I have somebody who needs to go to a recovery house or treatment. Now with computerized benefits, medical assistance, all the things that entail that, it's a much longer process. So that's in it in a nutshell on those 2.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. What qualifications are you looking for when you hire these 2 program specialists?
So it is a bachelor's level position. We did speak with the union about possibly downgrading to an associate's level to try to get a wider net. We did interview for one vacant position, and we had 3 candidates. We hired 1, and there are 2 that were in the acceptable range that we would look to onboard. We probably wouldn't have to do a second set of interviews, but right now it's at a bachelor's level.
And I say this a lot to different people. I mean, don't be afraid of hiring somebody who is in recovery and, good recovery, not somebody just coming out of treatment, but the people who are in recovery do make
Yep.
terrific employees, especially in positions like that.
And I can say we do have one person that I'm aware of that's in recovery, and there's probably another 1 or 2 that I'm not even aware of
Okay.
that are working for us. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Any comments or questions?
I just have one, and I think that's actually in the job description is that at least 2 years sobriety, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned, I think you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, staffing hasn't increased in 21 years, but you just mean for the drug and alcohol program
Yes, for the drug and
special.
alcohol position, yeah. We have not added to the drug and alcohol position. It's been 21 years, believe it or not, yeah.
Okay, and these are budgeted?
We are not. Okay, we're asking to add those positions. We are looking into funding them through either opioid settlement funds or possibly CARES funds. I'd like the board to consider fully funding it if it doesn't come through, because it's very hard to hire someone and telling them that, your position may sunset. So I feel it's needed. I feel that it's not going to slow down, and I think it's only going to increase.
And I just wanted to ask one question about the secretary positions. So why are the secretaries making more?
So you want me to go into the secretary?
Sure, yeah, if you don't mind, yeah.
So on the secretarial positions, there is a article in their contract where they can request a review by the classification committee once a year. That's through Human Resources. That was done, and they compare, I can't speak for Lauren, but she is here. I guess they look at the job duties and responsibilities and compare that countywide, and they've decided that it merits an increase from a grade 4 to a grade 5.
So this came from Human Resources?
Yes. The request goes to Human Resources, yeah, and then they do their classification committee.
Was the request from the union, the secretary, for these employees?
I'm
Or
sorry?
was the request from the secretaries themselves individually, or from the
From the
union that
union, right?
represents them?
The secretaries work with the union, and the union send it to HR, and then HR spoke with Mr. Kratz.
All right, so just for the record, the secretaries work with the union, union works with HR, HR works with Mr. Kratz. Okay. Did you want to talk any more about the secretarial
If there's any
positions?
more questions on it, I'll be happy to.
Any other questions about the secretarial positions?
Is the increase in secretarial positions budgeted?
There's room in there, yeah. We've had some vacancies.
I didn't hear you, I'm
I'm sorry,
sorry.
there's room in the budget. We had 2 vacancies that were not filled.
Okay.
And lastly, we have a change from a corrections officer to a cook's position. We opened up the Women's Center, so we opened up another facility. We wanted to see what the need was before we came in to see if we needed to add to food service. So we've run 8-9 months now, 6-7 months now, and we do need another cook's position on there. So we're converting at the request of the union, converting a correctional officer position into a stipend cook's position. Again, all these positions are correctional officers first. They receive some additional and added training in food service. So I'm presenting that to the board today as well.
Okay. So not hiring a cook specifically, hiring,
Correct,
right?
yeah. Your corrections officer,
Changing the-
corrections officer first, cook second.
Right,
Yes.
okay. All right, any questions about that? Okay. All right, so there are, numbers 1 through 13, 14, items 1 through 14, including the 2 drug and alcohol program specialists, the 5 secretarial positions, and the corrections officer cook/cook. Is there, is it fine to do them all together? Any issues doing them together? Okay. Is there a motion for items 1 through 14?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Emergency management, Ms. Kinney?
Good morning. He's a lot taller than I am. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I am here to present a position change within emergency management from Division Office Manager Secretary to simply Division Office Manager. Along with that change, I'm asking to change it from an hourly position to a salaried position as well. This role is funded at 50% through EMPG funding, which is dedicated funding for emergency management to sustain operations. It's a reimbursement-based opportunity within our group. This position has certainly morphed over the years into a much more leadership-based role. It supports all 8 departments within emergency services overall, with primary responsibilities in emergency management. And along with that change from an hourly to a salary position, we're asking for a small cap increase of $1,893. So today the cap is $60,777. We're asking for the new cap to be $62,670. That is able to be supported in our 2023 operating budget, and we have planned for it in 2024.
Okay. And just for clarification, you said this is funded through, is it 50%?
50%
All right,
for
50%.
salaries and benefits both.
All right, okay. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, any questions for Ms. Kinney? No? Okay, is there a motion to approve items 15, 16?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Veterans Affairs, Mr. Allen.
Good morning, Salary Board. I'm requesting that a current Veteran Service Officer title be changed to Senior Veteran Service Officer to better meet the needs of this office, to include a pay increase from labor grade 6A, which is $31.98, to a labor grade 7, which is $33.77. There are many administrative functions that require additional work beyond the Veteran Service Officer job duties, including scheduling, financial, purchasing, database entry and management, contract management, and training personnel. For example, over the last year, the Veterans Affairs Department relaunched their VAN program, which requires different scheduling functions to provide transportation from local areas to various VA hospitals. This program will continue to operate and ensure it's run appropriately. Additionally, to go along with the countless community events that we participate in, the Senior Veterans Affairs Officer will be responsible for planning the new yearly Veterans Expo that's coming up for this year, next month. These are just some of the examples of the additional responsibilities of the Senior Veterans Service Officer. The union did give approval for this position, and I'm asking the Salary Board to approve this title and salary change.
Okay, comments or questions for Mr. Allen? Okay, I know this has been a long time. A lot of work went into this. I appreciate that. Appreciate the union working with us on this. It does make sense. We know that, the individual in this position has really done, has really stepped up over the years and is pretty integral to helping you do your job. Just as she was integral to helping the last, 2 Veterans Affairs directors do their jobs as well. So, yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. Is there a motion to approve items 18, 19?
So moved.
I'm
Second?
sorry, it should be 17, 18, a little bit of a typo there, 17, 18. All right, so motion made and seconded still? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, Workforce and Economic Development, Ms. Barnes?
Good morning. Thank you. Prior to workforce transitioning to county government in 2020, we created a technical writer position. And at that time, no other workforce boards had this position, so we really had no idea what we were getting into, right? So we were thinking that that position would do some of our branding, put out all of our correspondence, so we were kind of singing from the same hymnal, right? But as we got into this, 3 years later, this position morphed into something that we couldn't even imagine. So I'm here today to request a title change for that position. What we know now versus what we know then, this position has become more autonomous and has required far higher decision-making skills than we anticipated. WED has increased purposeful outreach through many different mediums to promote the department and its services, and this position is responsible now for the creation of a widely distributed newsletter that goes out to thousands of our employers. This position is also responsible for the implementation of our webinars, our WED Talks. This position sources all of the subject matter experts that present our WED Talks. This position is also responsible for the strategic and compliant branding, in addition to grant applications, completion of annual reports, and required planning documents. So this change is important for the job description and the title to be reflective of the work that is really being done. And just to add, this position is 100% state and federally funded, and we will be cost-sharing the cost of the position through WIOA and TANF funds. Any questions?
Okay. Just for those who aren't as familiar, just could you give a, just break down WIOA and TANF for people?
So those are our formula fundings. So it's the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act Fund, and TANF is the funding that we use for folks that are collecting public assistance. That's the easiest way to think of it too, right?
Okay.
So if you're a dislocated worker or you're an adult and you've come through and you've lost your job, we would use the WIOA funding. If you're collecting public assistance, we would use TANF funding. Those are the big difference between the two.
Okay, thank you. All right, comments or questions for Ms. Barnes? No? Okay. All right, appreciate the explanation and all the work you guys do. Is there a motion to approve items 19 and 20?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right. One other matter came to bring up, just to reaffirm or reconfirm something. We did change a couple of years ago the title of Military Affairs Office to Veterans Affairs. You know, and I think one of the things we may have slipped through, talking to Ms. Duran, may have slipped through the cracks, was actually reaffirming the fact that Veterans Affairs is in the Human Services division. So is there, I guess, is there a motion to just reconfirm that that move has happened? And
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have it on the record there. All right. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.